looking for this, and this. And then, you know, when people say stuff like that, it makes you think, hey, man, I hope they're not trying to plant nothing on us, you know, say that we found this, and this, and it's just what it is, I guess.
You can download from ACLU. What's ACLU?
American Civil Liberties.
Yeah, thank you. There's a small handbook tells you what are your rights, but don't resist arrest or search. The cop should tell you, may I search your car or can I enter your house? If you say no and they still enter, don't resist, but you should say no, so it's on record that you said no. Even if you have nothing to hide. Like, what's random? In the airport, you know, I know many people have called, including me, they say random search at the airport. I say, okay, how many whites are randomized in the random search? I don't know.
I'm searched every time.
Oh,
I am.
good, thank you.
I get searched more often than not.
More often than the common.
More often.
It must be
I've been getting
us
pulled over
having
because
taken Kaya 5-0.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's the last 5 years I've been.
We haven't heard from Cassandra.
Yeah. Oh, Cassandra, you're burning inside. You know?
No, just not burning, but I've just had a lot of bad experiences. One of which I was shopping with my mother, and we were being.
Aurora Police is not
Aurora, yes, it was in Aurora. Shopping with my mother, we were being followed in the store, and finally my mom is like, you know what, we're just gonna leave. So we left, and the police come, and they said we stole something, some shorts, that the lady at the counter said we stole. She's been following us, so she knows. So they searched my mom right in front of me. They searched me. They didn't find anything, of course, but then I actually had on a pair of clothing that they actually sold in the store. So they were going to arrest us. Well, my mom. And my mom had to call home to have someone go to our house, search for the receipt in order to bring it to prove that we actually paid for that clothing that I had on, that they actually sold in that store. So it was I was about 13 years old. So it was pretty rough.
Next time, free legal service, ACLU. After the fact, of course, it's sad.
Yeah.
You can sue anyone who's accusing you of.
You have the receipt, right? You have.
We had it, yeah. We proved it, and then, you know, he let us go. But just that whole experience,
Yeah.
you know, was just, at 13, it was like the scariest thing of my life
And what if
at
you
the
didn't have
time.
the receipt, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't keep my receipts, I throw them away.
Right.
I mean, what do you,
That would be awful.
You gotta prove
Yeah.
yourself.
Most people would just throw the receipt. You know this, don't you? This is how they're portrayed differently, depending on which media. And they were saying, what if we change the color of their skin? Would this still be a story? Right? You've heard that. Of course, it's a heated debate. There's the standard, the ground rule law. This is how we actually look like. You know, khaki. It's not like a hoodie. It's, you know, more like a sweatshirt. And this is what Obama said yesterday, yesterday. The speech. Please, no ad.
Well, I want to come out here, first of all, to tell you that Jay is prepared for all your questions and is very much looking forward to the session. The second thing is, I want to let you know that over the next couple of weeks, there are going to obviously be a whole range of issues, immigration, economics, et cetera. We'll try to arrange a fuller press conference to address your questions. The reason I actually wanted to come out today is not to take questions, but to speak to an issue that obviously has gotten a lot of attention over the course of the last week, the issue of the Trayvon Martin ruling. I gave a preliminary statement right after the ruling on Sunday, but watching the debate over the course of the last week, I thought it might be useful for me to expand on my thoughts a little bit. First of all, I want to make sure that once again I send my thoughts and prayers as well as Michelle's to the family of Trayvon Martin, and to remark on the incredible grace and dignity with which they've dealt with the entire situation. I can only imagine what they're going through, and it's remarkable how they've handled it. The second thing I want to say is to reiterate what I said on Sunday, which is there are going to be a lot of arguments about the legal issues in the case. I'll let all the legal analysts and talking heads address those issues. The judge conducted the trial in a professional manner. The prosecution and the defense made their arguments. The juries were properly instructed that in a case such as this, reasonable doubt was relevant, and they rendered a verdict. And once the jury's spoken, that's how our system works. But I did want to just talk a little bit about context and how people have responded to it and how people are feeling. When Trayvon Martin was first shot, I said that this could have been my son. Another way of saying that is Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago. And when you think about why, in the African American community at least, there's a lot of pain around what happened to them, I think it's important to recognize that the African American community is looking at this issue through a set of experiences and a history that doesn't go away. There are very few African American men in this country who haven't had the experience of being followed when they were shopping in a department store. That includes me. There are very, very few African American men who haven't had the experience of walking across the street and hearing the locks click on the doors of cars. That happens to me, at least before I was a senator. There are very few African Americans who haven't had the experience of getting on an elevator and a woman clutching her purse nervously and holding her breath until she had a chance to get off. That happens often. And I don't want to exaggerate this, but those sets of experiences inform how the African American community interprets what happened one night in Florida. Next couple of weeks, there are going to obviously be a whole range of issues, immigration.
Okay, so you got the main point, right? I myself went through these. And when I go shopping, I was being followed. Walking the street, people click their car, lock. And when I go to the elevator, women will clutch the purse to their bodies and so on. This is not just an isolated case, it's an experience of African American men. I think also people of other color. I would fall in line for food restaurant. I know I should keep my distance. People will clutch onto their wallets and make sure it's there. Like, okay, I'm like 2 persons away in the line, but people make sure. If you're not colored, you don't know the experience of people of color. You can't. You don't go through those things. Okay. There are other similar incidences, Trayvon, but we'll skip that. Goes on and on. Okay, white male Yeah.
You passed a slide earlier. I don't know if everybody, I don't know if everybody knew about that case.
Okay.
That's happened.
Teen hero. He chased a car on his bike for 15 minutes to save this 5-year-old girl who snatched from her front yard in Pennsylvania. This is just to show, don't stereotype, like if Trayvon were white and Zimmerman were black, what would have this been the case? That's why this was such a big case. Like, what happens in our legal justice system? And so, but they're saying like, look, there are other things that are also happening, but why don't we look at the other things too? There's just like a stereotypical view of African-American male, and Trayvon Martin was just 17 years old, and just with Skittles and iced tea, self-defense, I mean, we're not going to the case. We all know about the case. Yeah, you know this,
Yeah.
the Cheerios.
I remember-
Okay, we'll see it. We'll see the Cheerios.
I remember first seeing it on TV. Has anyone seen it?
Oh,
I've heard
that.
about this. I haven't
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think anything
You've heard
of it.
about though. Okay.
I didn't think anything of it.
Skip that, thank you.
The adorable Cheerios commercial featuring an interracial couple has sparked strong racist backlash on YouTube. Let's take a look at the ad.
I just say, wow.
Yes, honey?
Dad told me that Cheerios is good for your heart. Is that true?
Says here that Cheerios has whole grain oats that can help remove some cholesterol. Nuts are healthy.
What was that?
So instead of our laughing and enjoying like we have been watching this, the YouTube comment section has since been closed because it received all sorts of awful stuff in it, but it also received more than 1,600 likes and 500 dislikes as of Friday morning. Right before they closed the comment section, we were seeing all sorts of cesspool stuff happening there.
Yeah, really nasty stuff. I think the big thing to take away from this and to remember is that on the internet anyone can have a voice, and that's one of the beautiful things about the internet. That's also one of the really ugly things about the internet. And in this case, there was, some people took to the comments section and took to Cheerios' Facebook page with some really, really nasty comments that were shocking to me, and I'm completely shocked that this is actually creating any sort of outrage or any conversation like this.
I mean, I feel like the last anti-miscegenation law was.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, so kids liked it. I think they had an interview with the kids.
A bunch of kids.
But it's the adults were just a lot of racists.
The new Subway $4.
No, I don't have it. Oh yeah, this is it. They interviewed kids about the commercial.
Yes, honey?
Dad told me that Cheerios is good for your heart. Is that true?
Says here that Cheerios has whole grain oats that can help remove some cholesterol. Nuts are healthy.
Oh my god, the girl's so cute. Who is there over Dad's heart? Yummy and delicious for children to put on their fathers.
That's it? It's just a Cheerios commercial.
So what happened in that commercial?
It was a Cheerios commercial.
This little girl apparently thinks that her dad is super unhealthy.
So the girl asked if it was actually healthy for your heart, but I think she was thinking of literally. Went over to her dad, went to if he was sleeping, put him on the door. I thought it was pretty funny.
And what did you think of the family?
They seemed fun, funny.